A thief is at work. A shadowy figure has entered the post room at Rutgers University in New Jersey, America. The thief steals $50 and leaves. But this theft has been set up as part of an experiment. These 3 students were all given the same opportunity to steal. Now we're going to find out which of them did. They'll be grilled by interrogator Dr. Jack Grasso. And behind a two-way mirror, psychologist Dr. Mark Frank, an authority on lying, will be looking for the telltale signs of guilt. As they enter the interrogation room, they will all want to control the impression they create so that they're believed. If they're guilty and don't get caught, they can keep the money. If they're innocent but look guilty, they'll be subjected to a long questionnaire. Dr. Frank says he can spot a liar just by looking at their face. Can you?
Are you lying to me right now?
Not at all.
It would be wrong for me to say something that I didn't do.
I can't confess to something I didn't do.
There's no really easy guide to lying, no easy guide to truth-telling. There's no Pinocchio response. There's nothing that simple. There are some, books that list some of these things, like, touching the nose is one, To touch the nose means you're lying. Well, nobody's ever found any reliable information about that.
Dr. Frank thinks he's found a better way. He spent the last 12 years analyzing the faces of 1,000 liars and truth-tellers. Now he reckons he can tell them apart. He believes that when liars become anxious, they can't stop themselves appearing for a split second to be afraid.
It's somebody struggling with and trying to suppress the fear, and yet it is still leaking through in some places. And sometimes in different parts of the face are leakier than others.
As Adam takes first place in the hot seat, Dr. Frank's watching for raised eyebrows drawn together in the middle or a grimacing, downturned mouth, both features of fear.
Is it your intention to answer every question about the theft of that money truthfully?
Yes.
Describe exactly what happened, what you saw and did when you were in that room.
I basically came to the room, I looked around and I checked out the envelope, it was empty, and I left.
Did you take the money out of the envelope?
There was an empty envelope. No, I didn't.
Are you lying to me now?
No.
Why should I believe you?
Because I'm not lying to you right now. I'm telling you the truth here.
Is Dr. Frank convinced?
There we go. Now there's a critical moment there. This is the first big lie. He says he went to the envelope and it was empty. And what you see is a really wonderful micro expression of fear. What he's doing is he's not just raising his eyebrows straight up. They're being raised up and pulled together in the middle. The average person cannot do that deliberately. And so what that suggests to us is there's an emotion that's just shot through his system right there. And when he's just said the envelope was empty, he gets this surge of anxiety at that moment. And again, that expression was very, very brief. If we take a look at it again in real time.
The envelope, it was empty.
Pow, that's it.
And I left.
Less than a second.
And later he believes there's another giveaway.
This is interesting. This looks like fear coming out of the bottom part of the face. He's having surges of anxiety at critical moments and at different moments in the course of this interview. We would predict that this sort of a person with this sort of behavioral pattern would be lying.
Spot on, Adam was lying. But he may not be the only one. To make life harder for Dr. Frank, we've tricked him with 2 thieves. Is the other one Debbie?
Before we begin the interrogation, just let me ask you a few simple questions to get you used to the procedure. Are you ready?
Okay.
Do you have a favorite time of the year?
Summer.
Really, why? What makes it good for you?
Vacation.
Or is it Georgia?
Is it your intention to answer all of the questions regarding the theft of that money truthfully?
Yes.
Have you ever before been in a situation like you were in today?
Yeah, once, but it was only like $5. But I did take it, but
Why didn't you take that money?
No, I did. It was like $5 because, I don't know, it was only $5.
Describe exactly what happened, what you saw, what you did when you were in that room today.
Well, I was instructed to go into the room, to look at the envelope and not take any of the money.
Did you take the money out of the envelope?
No, I just opened it and looked in it.
Why didn't you take the money?
Because I didn't earn it.
Are you lying to me now?
Not at all.
So what impression did Debbie make on Dr. Frank?
This is quite interesting. Now here, she's being asked about her favorite time of the year, and she's got almost an anxious look on her face. You could see, if you look at her forehead and the tension in her eyebrows, and they haven't even got to the interview, just asking her about favorite time of year. She's an interesting case in that she is showing us almost anticipatory anxiety, waiting for the next question. But as she answers it, she is in fact looking, very natural, and the anxiety goes off her face, and she is dealing with it. And I think a lot of people would see that anxiety and say, there's something wrong here. They may not know what it is. I would think she would be a truth teller who would be one that would be misjudged.
Did you take the money out of the envelope?
No.
What about Georgia? At first, Dr. Frank can't find anything to suggest she's lying.
I think I may have to view her all the way through here and then go back.
But finally, he thinks he spots something.
Well, I was instructed to go into the room.
What you see here, as she's talking about what she was supposed to do, you see on the lower part of her face there, that is the risorius muscle. And the risorius muscle is part of the fear expression. And that suggests to me that she's got a blast of anxiety or fear that's just sort of shot through her system at this point, because she's at the critical moment in the story. But this is really subtle. Of all the people we've seen, she, I think, is the most persuasive liar. I bet many people would miss her, and they would judge her as telling the truth.
Dr. Frank's verdicts are Adam, guilty, Georgia, guilty, Debbie, not guilty. Right every time.